DORK Podcast with Rich Keefe. It's the DORK Podcast. Keefe Davey. It's the DORK Podcast. Hashtag. It's the hashtag DORK Podcast.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Hashtag Dork. My name is Rich Keefe, joined as always by Davey Eyeballs. He is Rick Rude Von Dick, dude. All hail the king of ginger ale. It's Ryan. Davey, how are you?
Feeling fine.
Yeah.
Feeling fine. You know, it's going to be a good topic today. We're going to talk a good little video game minute. I'm excited.
Hell yeah. So we did top 10 actors recently. So if you're listening to this one, you're like, wait a minute, what the hell? That they're doing actors. We already did actors.
We already did it.
So maybe it was buried somewhere in your phone, but I would recommend subscribing to the podcast. We'll get them all right there. New format. We're going to be doing 2 episodes Sunday night live on YouTube and then release them a day apart on wherever you get your podcasts. So that's how we're doing things right now. So top 10 actors in the archives right now. Tonight, a little something different. Top 10 actresses. But first, because we didn't do this in the last episode,
Yes.
and I'm dying to know your review of one of the new video games to hit stores. Let's get to this.
It's time for Davey's video game minute. Even if it takes more than a minute.
All right. What do you have?
Well, what I have, Richard, is I have my working review of the Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, which I have put about 4 or 5 hours into right now. One thing I do want to touch on with this too is like just how petty the people at IGN are. I counted since this game was released. Now, we talked about it last week, how they were not given advanced codes for the game. They were not allowed to review the game along with other outfits, media outlets, because they played an hour of it and basically trashed the game. And they're basically like, the Flash is too fast. I can't hit it. I can't hit him.
Kind of the
so
the idea.
I am I'm interested, you know, in like how many times they tweet. So I think I counted, I think they tweeted 8 tweets this weekend about this game. All of them saying how bad it is. They even went so far as to like, hey, do you actually kill the Justice League? And they like put spoilers like in the story.
God,
like it's so petty, it's so stupid. I would say, so for those of you who are wondering, it's a work in progress right now. I would give this game right now a 4.5 stars, which is pretty good. I think it's good. It's not Gotham Knights. It's not unplayable like Gotham Knights.
Yeah.
And so one of the things I really, really love about this game is 1, how it looks, and 2, the story. The story is actually really, really good. And so you think it's just that you just go right in and you're just going to fight all. I think there's 5 members of the Justice League right now, and you're going to kill them all. So like it's like tiered like levels, right? There's actually a little bit more to it than that. The person who plays their version of Amanda Waller, you've seen before. She's in the Force Awakens games. I can't remember her name. She was on Mad TV. I'm trying to think of Deborah Wilson. So like she was and she's just like as crazy as all of them. Like it's great, and like the story is really good. So it takes place in Metropolis, and Brainiac has kind of taken over the city. So you're brought in to basically take them out, right? So you get, you know, this isn't too much of a spoiler, but one of the first people you meet and try to recruit to your cause is the Penguin. So like he's involved.
Okay.
Lex Luthor's involved. Like you get weapons from Lex Luthor. So like there's a whole bunch of things that go into this. The story is actually really deep.
So should I get this game? Is my question.
I think let me say this, and then I'll tell. So here's one thing with games like this where you can switch in between characters.
Yeah.
There's a fluidity to that where like the controls are essentially the same. They all do different things, but they're like the controls are essentially the same. The one thing that's really difficult about this game is that all the buttons are the same, but every character is so different that it's really hard to switch between them. So you basically have to like pick one, figure out how they work, because like the traversal system. So you remember like the Rocksteady games with Batman, like you could fly, and then you could hit the thing, and you could like with the grapple gun, and then zoom off that. So it's funny because remember, like, did you play the Guardians game?
No.
Oh, so the Guardians game is good. And, like, you don't really know what you're doing to start, but you like get better as you go.
Okay. Yeah.
So the way they do it is that each character in the Suicide Squad that is playable, they actually get pieces of the Justice League's equipment. And they themselves are just starting to try to like figure out how to use it.
Okay.
So for instance, like Boomerang has like was the Flash what's the Flash's like Speed Force. Like his boomerang, he attaches it with like Speed Force. So like you can throw it and then like go to it, right? Harley Quinn gets Batman's grapple gun.
Okay.
So like they don't really know how to use it yet, so you're trying to figure it out along with them. The easiest character I've found to use right now, and I'm using a ton of, and super fun, is King Shark.
Oh yeah, I bet. Okay.
So it's pretty straightforward, like how he's a lot of jumping, very hulky, but like with guns.
Yeah.
The dialogue is really good. The story is really good. Gameplay is, like I said, it's a little wonky right now.
Okay.
But I think they could smooth that out. But it's cool because you're constantly upgrading things. I think you unlock different skins. You can, there's different guns you can use, and everyone can use everyone else's guns.
Oh,
which is
nice.
kind of cool.
So
it's not as bad as people say it is. It's really not. It's super playable, super fun. It's probably not Rocksteady's best effort. I think it's a little too much right now, but don't listen to IGN. IGN's a bunch of petty bitches. They are like Petty LaBelle right now.
So better than that. Better than what IGN.
It's better than that. Okay. I would ask you a question, Richard. So you've played a little Tekken so far?
Yeah.
Who are you using a lot of?
Nina.
I'm
coming
at you. Out nice for you.
I'm coming at you with Nina. Nina's the only one I've played with online against people. I've played with Law barely. I wanted to get through the story, and the problem with the story is you're just using Jin so much, who I will never use. So like, I got through it. I beat the story mode, and like that was cool. And like it's like you said, it's crazy, but it's fun enough. You're using a few different characters, but it's so dominated by Jin. I'm like. I'm kind of wasting time here. Like none of the characters I'm actually going to be like fighting you and Shark.
I don't really care about the story.
Yeah. Like, I kind of got to get going.
Did I use the phrase duck tits for the story?
It might be
duck tits crazy.
Like I like Lee. I can use maybe a little bit, and I'll try and find maybe one other, but mostly Nina. Where are you at right now?
Steve Fox.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's what you said last week.
I'm a little slipping and jabbing. I'm like, whoop, a little slipping and jiving. So it's completely different than anything I've ever used before. So but it's the one I feel actually now most comfortable with. I know it's not like an S tier character right now, but
you went from a guy with all kicks to a guy with all punches.
Just all punches. Yeah.
How about
Interesting.
that?
How about that?
All right, very good. Yeah, so let's get Tekken going sometime. Oh, I was streaming The Quarry again last night.
Yep.
3 hours in on The Quarry, so I got a ways to go, but
you got a ways to go. Yeah,
it's still fun though. I'm having a nice time. All right, Brian.
Y'all ready for biz?
Topic du jour time.
I don't know what that is.
Well, I'm glad you asked because it's the topic of the day. And today, top 10 actresses since 2000. So we did top 10 actors already, and similar criteria to me. It's actresses that are obviously great. Everybody that's on this list is great, but it's ones where you see it's like, oh, it's the new so-and-so movie, or oh, so-and-so's in this TV show now. And you're like, oh shit, I guess I got to give it a go. Even if it's a weird, bizarre premise, or it doesn't look like something you want to see, you're like, I don't know, this person's so good, I'll give it a shot. And you might end up liking it. Plus all the great things that they've already done in like movies and TV shows that you already like anyway from it. So that's how I did it. I came up with a list of 10. Davey came up with a list of 10. We mashed them up, and this is the order. Now, also, this one, a little bit more diverse. I think there was a few more honorable mentions on this one. Yeah, there was, because actually, I didn't even write all the ones down.
There was a bunch of them. Yeah, I'm looking
at
it
there's a couple more. So we might have only had 2 or 3 people that we overlapped. Like, that's how different our lists were for the actresses. So let's dive in. Number 10 overall was on your list, not on my list. So
and I think this is a person who, like, when you talk about great actresses, it doesn't really matter the time period. I think you have to mention Meryl Streep, right?
I mean, we're not the
I mean,
AFI.
we're not the AFI, but like, you know, you look at this, some of the things, and again, you know, like a Daniel Day-Lewis, you know, or you know, makes everyone around them better, you know. So like or Christian Bale, I said the same thing too. So anything from, you know, Mamma Mia to The Hours adaptation, all of these things since 2000, Into the Woods, which I thought was really good. I know it didn't get the best reviews. Anything like Big Little Lies, she was in that too, right?
Yes, yeah, she was good in that. Season 2 of that, I believe. Yeah.
So, I mean, this is someone you just you tip the cap to. You know, it's that veteran who's like been an all-star their whole career, might not be having all-star seasons lately,
Yeah,
but still gets the votes.
I didn't have her on my list. I also think with her, we're not. I don't want to say anything bad about her. She seems like a nice lady, but have we been brainwashed? Because I don't like any of the movies really that she's in. There's one that I can think of that I like, and it came out in the 90s.
What's that?
Death Becomes Her, and that's because
fucking great movie.
Goldie Hawn and Bruce Willis are fantastic. No, like she seems delightful. Everybody else thinks that she's the best actress, but like I don't. If you found out she was in a movie that was coming out in 2 weeks, I wouldn't see it. Like unless it's, you know, it also happens to star Christian Bale and Ryan Gosling and like all these other people that we like, or it's about something crazy. Like if it's one of these like weird based on a true story movies, guys like Gary Oldman or Daniel Day-Lewis, I'll probably give it a rip. But Meryl Streep, I'd be like, all right, like, okay, fine.
I respect that. Okay. I respect that. We're going younger here, right? We're talking about people who like, and for me, it was just like, it was straight best actress. And I think I mentioned in the last one, like versatility. Someone who can do a number of things.
Well, if this was if this was from the first movie ever made to now, she would be on a lot of lists, like a lot of lists in general. I'm just like, I don't know. Like I got a few more young guns on my list. I got some people that might be the filmography is not nearly as long, but like they like maybe a little bit stronger.
Well, think of it like this: if we're gonna bring in the sports, right? We're gonna bring in the sports analogy to it. She's like at the later, you know, the back nine of her career, she's like a Greg Maddux. You know, she's 85, 86, but she's painting. Everything she does it well.
All right, well, what's your favorite movie that since 2000 with her?
Her favorite movie since 2000 that she's been in is probably Into the Woods.
Okay.
But I know that I watched the movie with her. It was a while, Ricky and the Flash, where she plays like an older, so she plays like an older rock star.
Oh, okay. Oh, maybe I have heard of that.
And she's in Rick Springfield's in it, so it's like, I kind of like that movie. Yeah,
so it's gotta be
Devil Wears Prada is good.
Maybe I would go with that.
I like the other version of the Devil Wears Nada. I don't know if you've seen that movie.
I have not seen that, but I know what I'll be doing later. She was in, let's see, what the fuck movies that I saw? I don't know, man.
The Iron Lady. Didn't she win an Oscar for the Iron Lady?
Probably did. I think she probably won an Oscar for all of these. I think she was nominated for all of these.
Yeah.
But like to me, maybe Devil Wears Prada is probably the one.
Fantastic Mr. Fox is incredible.
Yeah.
And it's a voice, but
all right. There you go.
Yeah. Well, you think you know more, you do better. In number 9.
I'm gonna do better with number 9. I'm going Michelle Williams.
Again, not on my list.
No, she was not. Michelle Williams. And again, this is kind of crazy, but most of Dawson's Creek was in the 2000s. So you could even go back as far as Jen Lindley in Dawson's Creek. That counts. What really jumped off the page to me, though, was Manchester by the Sea. Still don't know how she didn't win an Oscar for that.
I don't think she was in it enough. I think she was in it for all. She's like the Hannibal Lecter thing. I think she was only in it for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, but true. But if she was nominated for supporting, I think.
Right.
Like, okay, like Hannibal Lecter won Best Actor. Like that, he wasn't even. But either way, like that one was crazy. She was also like in Shutter Island, Blue Valentine, where we talked about Gosling on the last episode. She was insane in that, and then everything else that she's been in, and obviously, like, you know, Venom and Venom 2 weren't the best movies. The Fablemans was another one. Brokeback Mountain. Like she's just, I feel like hits a home run every time that she's on screen.
So the other thing we did last episode too, we talked about the best movie they was in. I think it's by far for me the best. My favorite Michelle Williams movie is Manchester by the Sea. The scene with her and Casey Affleck when she has like the baby and he sees her again, like probably one of the more soul crushing movies I've seen. I knew that people are like, oh, the movie's really sad. I'm like, okay, I had no idea that movie was about that. Like that was fucking crazy.
No, that was nuts. Yeah, that I would either say that one. I think Blue. I wouldn't. Don't sleep on Blue Valentine. Blue Valentine's pretty intense.
I haven't seen that in a long time, but
yeah. It's a lot. But they're both super into it, and so yeah, that'd be. She was high on my list. So number 9 overall is Michelle Williams.
So we're gonna go number 8. We're gonna go with a. I think for us in the dork world, she's one of our queens.
Yes,
and that being Natalie Portman.
Hell yeah.
In the 2000s, I rare misses from Miss Portman, and again, just a super talented person. And I feel like everything, like a Streep, everything she's in is good
and good range. Like she's funny, like she can do funny, like her appearances on SNL, like when she does like the raps and stuff. And then Thor, and like you saw her role sort of evolved in the Thor movies. Obviously, the Star Wars movies, which, believe it or not, have gotten better over time. Like, episode 1 is pre-2000, but episode 2 and 3, I think, are even better now than they were before. But then she's in like a lot of like the other Boleyn Girl. I remember watching that. That one jumped out. Black Swan is insane.
Garden State. She was a doll in Garden State.
Then she plays Jackie Kennedy, and Jackie gets an Oscar nomination. I was a big fan of the sci-fi movie Annihilation, where she was like the lead in from a couple years back.
And I know I might stand alone with this, but I really liked V for Vendetta. I know Alan Moore hates it, but
no, that's okay. That's all right. The movie Closer, that was intense. Remember, that was like a lot of swapping going around there.
a lot of swapping, a lot of something going on.
Like, this is a couple now. There are a couple now. This is happening. Yeah, she's great. She could have been. I think probably should have been even higher. I think you left her off yours.
I think so too. But
I watched like that movie, which was not very good, and it's getting nominated for stuff. That December movie that was on Netflix with her and Julianne Moore. I literally watched it because she was in it. So that, like, they can't all be winners. Like, she still acted her tail off. But like, whatever the next thing is with Natalie Portman, movie or if she happens to do any TV shows, like, I'm in. I'm all in on that. So
hell yeah.
All right, number. Where do we got here? Number.
Wait, do we do favorite movie with her first?
Oh yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
What's yours?
I was thinking. She's got a lot of good ones.
A lot of good ones. I mean, technically, I'm going to cheat on this one.
Oh, are you going to go Avengers?
Technically, she's in Endgame. Technically, so
yeah. Of all like the ones that she really stars in, though,
say Annihilation. Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
Black Swan.
All right.
Black Swan's intense.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's intense.
Black Swan is intense. All right, so number 7 on our list is Jennifer Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Well, I had high on my list.
Yeah, I gotta double check my list. Did I have her on the list? I didn't. And I don't know, maybe because she mailed in those X-Men movies. I don't know. But
I mean, I think
she was so good in that comedy movie this year. She deserves a lot of credit for that. She can for sure do both. I like her a lot. Her entire run, obviously, she's young as hell, so her entire run is post 2000. Silver Linings Playbook, she's really good in. I watched all those Hunger Games movies, so that's leading a blockbuster or box office type of thing. Right.
And she kind of blew up. So great. Winter's Bone was the first movie I remember seeing her in. And because I remember she was nominated for an Oscar for that. I'm like, who is this kid?
Mm-hmm.
Like, who is this? And then it was right after that, she got X-Men and then Hunger Games.
Yeah, Hunger Games took her
like back to back. So like X-Men First Class, like she was actually awesome in that. Then Hunger Games, then Silver Linings Playbook.
Yeah.
Which is like
really good.
Put her on the map. And then House at the End of the Street, which I know was a remake, but did some horror.
Mm-hmm.
American Hustle, I think it was another one. And then she started like, okay, I'm really good at this. And then started like, all right, so the latter Hunger Games movies, and then like the last 2 X-Men movies, she was like, okay, like I don't really need this. And you could tell, but
Yeah.
Even in the like Don't Look Up, she was like the best part of that movie.
Yes, she was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a great movie, but friend of the show, Gary Tangway had a big part in it.
Sure did.
So there's that.
I would say, but my favorite of her movies, I would say probably Silver Linings Playbook, I would say.
Yeah. Mine's Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
You know, that I like that one a lot. First Class is really good as well. I don't hate the Hunger Games movies either, but
I hated the last 2, the one where they split the last one into 2.
oh
I
yeah,
didn't like
that's
those.
fair. Yeah, they weren't as good. They're great. All right, coming in at number 6 on our list, mainly from TV, but did a few
mainly from TV and not on my list. So I'm
No.
surprised you're letting me do this one. I'm going to say friend of the podcast, best friend of the podcast.
Yeah, I would say my best friend. Yeah,
Your best friend of the podcast, Carrie Coon.
Carrie Coon, unbelievable. What a pull. Yeah, you didn't have her on there. It's not letting me post it for some
reason.
reason.
I think that's my. To be honest, I think it's my fault. I didn't give enough love to TV. That's my fault.
Yeah, I just think she was so good in The Leftovers. I still maintain it's the best female character, one of the best overall characters like that I've ever seen on television, and dominated for 3 seasons, and then was the best part of season 3. Well, actually, season 3 had a couple of highlights.
It did.
Of Fargo, but she was really good in Fargo. She was good in season 2 of The Sinner, which I don't know how many people saw. I watched it because of her. And she was in The Gilded Age, which a lot of people like. My wife really liked. I watched only because she was in it. Not my cup of tea, but she was electric in it. Then on top of that, she was in Gone Girl.
Yes.
That was like her first movie that she was in, and she was good in it. And then I don't know how much credit she really gets for this, but she was Proxima Midnight in Avengers Infinity War.
And I believe she was just the voice. She was not the body actor. She was just the voice.
But they also, like, her face kind of looked like it, like a little bit. So I don't know if they put anything on her, but it was definitely just the voice. And then Ghostbusters Afterlife, and she's gonna be the new Ghostbusters. And she was pretty good in Boston Strangler, a movie that was very middle of the road last year. I think it came out on Hulu, but she was really good in that as well. But no, this is mainly from Leftovers, Fargo, Sinner, Gilded Age, and that you don't get credit for this, but she's going to be in the next season of White Lotus, which I'm going to watch strictly because she's in it.
Yeah, I mean, so I think my favorite, if Avengers is off the table, Gone Girl was a good enough movie, but obviously I've only seen 1 season of The Leftovers, but incredibly good. She was awesome in Fargo. So I would say Fargo's my favorite role for Gloria Bergel.
I'm going Leftovers for sure.
Yeah.
All right, number 5 on our list is Amy Adams.
Yeah.
Another actress who crushes both comedy and drama. That show that she was in, Sharp Objects, a couple of years ago, that was an acting clinic. That was a heavy, deep ass show, and she was great in it. She's taking cracks at like big budget stuff with Lois Lane in the Snyderverse.
Yep.
But she's been in like a wide range. She sings. She's like with Enchanted. She was good in the Muppets.
Talladega Nights,
right? So like a lot of comedy in there, but then some really kind of heavier stuff as well. Arrival, one of the best sci-fi movies of the last 20 years.
The Fighter. She played Charlene in The Fighter.
She was great in The Fighter.
She was in American Hustle too. Her.
I'm
trying to think of like what else. Justice League. Zack Snyder's Justice League. But my favorite movie of hers, and I put her on the list. She was in The Office too. She did a great little cameo in The Office. My favorite Amy Adams movie was made in 1999, and I'm so sad. I'm going to bring it up anyway.
Oh, doesn't count.
It doesn't count, but I would say if you haven't seen the movie Drop Dead Gorgeous with her and Kirsten Dunst and Denise Richards, holy shit, that movie is hilarious. So it's a beauty pageant that takes place in like Minnesota. It's like a mockumentary. It's kind of like a Christopher Guest movie, but holy shit, is that movie funny. She plays like the slutty cheerleader.
Yes. I was just looking up some of her other stuff. She was in Doubt like as far as some of these like heavy, like serious movies. She was in Doubt. She was in The Master. That was a fucked up movie.
The Muppets. How would we forget the Muppets?
I said The Muppets. I was like,
Oh, you
because
did?
she's like, yeah, because she also sings. Like, so
Yep.
Enchanted, she sings songs, but then she sings in The Muppets, and she was great in that one. But yeah, Arrival was sick.
Arrival was probably the best of these, right? Gotta be.
She was in Vice. Yeah, Arrival probably is the best.
Yeah.
Oh, she's in an upcoming movie called Night Bitch.
Nice.
Nice. Ooh, a horror comedy. Then on that. Yeah,
I'll go.
All
right.
I'll go Arrival. There's a lot of good ones on this list, but tough to top Arrival.
Number 4.
Yeah, go ahead.
So number 4, and again, kind of a recent one. Someone who's just like kind of burst on the scene, but I think all of her movies are post 2000. Everyone's favorite, everyone's darling right now. Margot Robbie at number 4. A person who has built like a pretty impressive career in a very short amount of time. Oh yeah.
I would say so. I mean, she was in a couple of things like 0809, but really Wolf of Wall Street was 13. And then from there, she's in like 4 movies a year and like big one. Like, so Harley, like Suicide Squad, Harley Quinn. So then that one wasn't good, but then she was in The Suicide Squad and she was in the straight up Harley Quinn movie as well, which I actually kind of liked. Birds of Prey, I mean. Then she was in I, Tonya, she was great in I, Tonya. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is Sharon Tate. Amsterdam, we mentioned Amsterdam before. Barbie, which has sort of launched her up even higher than she was before. But yeah, she's been in a lot of good stuff in a short amount of time, like you said.
And like Downey Jr., I think she is Harley Quinn. I don't think you can cast anyone else in that role anymore.
Yeah, I agree.
Until she's done with it, it's hers.
Well, we got Lady Gaga coming up in Joker 2, so we'll see how she does.
And I get it, but like that, for me, that's just going to be such a weird movie.
Yeah, that's what they're maybe going for. People like weird movies.
But as soon as I saw Wolf of Wall Street, regardless of how she was physically portrayed in that movie, you knew that this person was like going to be really good.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And she's in The Big Short, she was actually great. So when they have like explaining like these really complex like financial or like economics things, they just have her do it, and she's in a bathtub, like she plays herself.
Hilarious.
And she's explaining it to us. She's sipping champagne, sitting in a bathtub. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Because and I think that's what's it who's the McKay, Adam McKay just knew like this. You'll listen to whatever this woman has to say.
Correct.
So
not wrong.
Brilliant move by him.
All right, you take number 3 because number 3 was your number 1 and not on my list, and then number 2 was
not on your list. You got to be out of your fucking mind. Not put this person on your list.
Number 2 was not on your list, which is number 1 on my list, but
which was probably an oversight for me. I'm dying to hear your excuse for this. So number 3, about to be multiple Oscar winner, Emma Stone.
Yeah.
You need to explain yourself right now why this person isn't on your list.
I don't know, like, kind of, what was the one last week? Like Leonardo DiCaprio. Everybody tells me how great they are. I'm like, yeah, it's fine. I like some of their movies. There's nothing that Emma Stone has done that I'm like, it's one of my favorite roles, one of my favorite movies. I'm like, she's fine. Honestly, my favorite role of hers was Superbad, where she was just like the friend. And that was like a thing like years ago that she was really good as the friend. I don't think I haven't seen this one that's nominated this year yet. I'll try to see Poor Things when I can. Have you seen that one?
Not yet.
Okay.
But you're gonna sit there.
Yeah, go ahead.
Have you seen the movie The Rocker? That movie is amazing. You've seen Tracy Stewart? No, that's the one with that's Rockstar. The Rocker's with Dwight from The Office, where he's like the old drummer, like the '80s band, and like he helps his nephew out with like their band.
Oh, I guess not.
So there's a movie here that like you're gonna sit there and you're gonna tell me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Shit, where is it?
Yeah, you got nothing.
Zombieland. Like you don't think Zombieland's a good movie?
Oh, I like Zombieland. Yeah, Zombieland. Of
course you do.
Yeah,
she's great in Zombieland.
But I'm not putting her number 1 on my list because of Zombieland. I'm not putting her in the top 10 because of Zombieland.
Okay, Crazy Stupid Love. Easy A. That movie's fucking awesome. The
Nothing.
House Bunny. Have you seen The House Bunny?
Yeah, Anna Faris is the best part of House Bunny. Anna Faris isn't on our list. She
Okay,
probably
fine.
should be.
The Help was really good. She's Gwen Stacy. You didn't care for that?
She was all right. Like that, I didn't mind her.
You didn't mind her in that?
I'm not anti her. I have 10 actresses better.
I don't think there's a better actor right now. I really don't.
I know you had a number one. I was surprised. I was like, wow. And it's funny. I said to my wife, I said, wife, when I got your email, I go, who do you think Davey has as his number one actress? She like looks up from her phone. She's like, I don't know, Emma Stone. I was like, yeah, good guess. Yeah.
You thought it was going to say so. I don't know, Scarlett Johansson or something.
Yeah, I don't know, Emma Stone. I'm like, yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
Emma
never
Stone.
mind. All right, you guys are on the same page on that. And I'm like, all right, fair enough. Yeah, no, she's good. I got to see this other one that she's in where she looks kind of crazy in it, but
yeah, very big eyes.
Yeah, which I like that.
Yeah.
All right, but coming in number one on my list. And so what happened is one of the tiebreakers was it would be like if it was on both of our lists, that would jump up. If it was on one of our lists, not the other, and ended up with the same points, I just sort of alternated who broke the tie because I hate ties in these things. So going back to the last one, I think there really was like a tie for 8th probably, but whatever, we skipped it. So coming in at number 2 on our list, my number one actress since 2000, Toni Collette.
And I think I know why. So I think I know why.
All right.
So if you listen to our previous episode, so Gary Oldman was number 1.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
She is a Gary Oldman-esque actor.
Ooh, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe that's what drew me to her. I think she's fantastic. And she does like same thing. She can do funny, she can do quick, she can do like I think Hereditary, not my favorite movie of all time, but one of the great performances we've gotten over the last 20 years. I thought that was insane. She also did a TV show on Netflix called Unbelievable, where I only watched it because it was like a mini series. I only watched it because of her. It was like a true crime mini series, and she was like a detective. Awesome. Like she was so good. She also was in the main cast of The Staircase, which was like a documentary, and then they made it into like a TV show. So she did that. So she has like a handful of like TV show things, but Hereditary is what really jumps out. Little Miss Sunshine, where she like on a great role as like the mother trying to like keep that whole family together and just kind of like running around. She's in a bunch of things. I've certainly not seen all the movies that she's done because she has quite a filmography here, but like Hitchcock and Fright Night, plenty of stuff that we've seen. Krampus, bad movie, but like she was really good in Krampus.
Nightmare Alley, she was really good in too.
Oh yes, she was. Yeah, hell yeah.
So yeah, but like you said, like Little Miss Sunshine, and there was another movie that I was thinking about, and I can't remember, like Fright Night. Like she's done a bunch of horror stuff that's been actually really good. And I would, like you said, for actor performances in a horror movie, I don't think you could do any better than Hereditary.
No, definitely not. Like that was
her in Hereditary, so good.
Yeah, so I'd put that number 1 for me, even though it's not in my top like 20 horror movies of all time. It's a good horror movie, but like her in it is all time. It's sort of like having Javier Bardem so high up for Anton Chigurh. I would have like her for Hereditary.
And again, she's in way more things than you think she is. I mean, she was great in Knives Out.
Oh shit! Right, I forgot about that. Yeah, right.
Yeah. So that's number 2. Right.
All right. So yes, that was number 2. So let's real quick rip through some honorable mentions here before we get to number 1. Others receiving votes included. You had Florence Pugh.
I did. My favorite right now.
You know,
that goes from like best to favorite. She's my favorite right now.
I had Kate Winslet. Kate Winslet, man, like Mayor of Easttown plus all the movies, like
so good.
She's so good. You had Viola Davis. Good, like,
I did.
Great actress. Mary Elizabeth Winstead, friend of the show.
Yeah.
It was hard to not have her on this list. She's always so captivating. Frances McDormand, you had.
Yes. Fargo. She's all Coen Brothers
Fargo
movies
that
she's
in. Pre-2000. So like
I know.
like Nomadland.
She's won 2 Oscars since then, right?
She's won a bunch of Oscars.
Yeah.
Brie Larson and I had Lupita Nyong'o on mine as well, who is great. So
the Marvels aside, Brie Larson is actually a fantastic actor.
yeah, she is. I thought she's good in the Marvels too. I got no problem with her in the Marvels.
I got no problems with it, but I know people give her the fucking gears about being, whatever.
I know. Yeah, people don't. There's all kinds of stuff out there on the internet about that. But number one is one that I think we both had in the top 3. So it was like far and away points wise, because we disagreed on a lot of this, but this is one that we both think is one of the absolute best actresses of our time. Number 1 since 2000, Jessica Chastain.
And again, we talk about being in like Streepian territory.
Yeah.
Where like everything she's in, she's going to get nominated for an Oscar for. I think Jessica Chastain is like the person. Her and Emma Stone is like kind of getting there, but like Jessica Chastain, whatever she's in, is awesome.
Oh, it's nuts. Yeah, I would say like Zero Dark 30 might have been the first time you really. I mean, she's in a lot of stuff prior to that, but like Zero Dark 30, I think she like The Help. That was a big one for her as well.
But again, not a long career. Like everything since 2004. I'm looking at.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Interstellar, The Martian, Crimson Peak. Let's see. Oh, Molly's Game. She was great.
Molly's Game was really good. Yeah.
It Chapter 2, The Eyes of Tammy Faye, which I definitely watched, and that was wild. But that was really good. Yeah.
And again, just a fantastic. I mean, Dark Phoenix.
Dark Phoenix, put her on there. Dark Phoenix.
But again, it's funny because you have like Jessica Chastain, Amy Adams, Emma Stone, Bryce Dallas Howard. Like, kind of get. I feel like people who aren't in the know like get them mixed up.
And Judy Greer. Yeah. Judy Greer and Bryce Dallas Howard are actually sisters in the Jurassic World franchise, which is great because like they have to be confused for each other all the time.
But I think Jessica Chastain, I think Molly's Game for me was the one that kind of set her apart from
that was so good.
But she's a fantastic actor. And I think and again, she's at that point now where she's only taking roles that are getting Oscars.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, for sure. So there's a movie coming out called Mother's Instinct, which I think is coming out this year. It's her and Anne Hathaway, and it's just going to be an act off. It's gonna be pretty good, I'm sure. So there you go. If you guys agree, disagree, other comments you have about the list, real quick from 10 to 1: Meryl Streep, Michelle Williams, Natalie Portman, Jennifer Lawrence, Carrie Coon. And then the top 5: Amy Adams, Margot Robbie, Emma Stone, Toni Collette, and Jessica Chastain. Pretty great.
Wagon. What a crop.
Pretty great. What a crop indeed. Ryan, real quick before we get out of here, let's just do, because we got people who got to go, but
pick of the bomb.
Kick, receive, defer, or defend a goal?
I will receive this week. So by the way, there's a bunch of people calling for Jessica Chastain to play Poison Ivy at some point. I don't think that's ever going to happen, but
that'd be good.
Wouldn't that be something in a Matt Reeves movie? That would be something.
Oh yeah.
I am going to pick, since the Grammys are on right now as we speak, and not to timestamp it, but the Grammys are on right now. So I was following the Grammys, and this is something that like I don't know why I kept this to myself, but if you haven't listened to this, so the album this year that swept the rap category, if you have not listened to it yet, the album Michael by Killer Mike, he of Run the Jewels.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome. So if you haven't listened to that yet, check that out. Michael by Killer Mike. That's my pick of the pod this week.
I'm on it. I will listen to that.
Yeah. It's right up your alley. You'll love it. You'll love it.
Oh,
great features on there too.
You had mentioned one of your picks of the pod. I followed up on the movie Self-Reliance.
Yeah.
I liked it.
It's good.
That was good. Yeah, so it's on Hulu right now. Davey already mentioned it. It was good because I haven't watched many movies that have come out this year yet. There haven't been a lot streaming. So
Jake Johnson and Biff Whiff were awesome together.
So good. And I was like, it's a cool idea. We should talk about the idea more on another episode about just if somebody offered you $1 million, but they said they got people coming to kill you, but they won't kill you if you're close to somebody at all times.
Yeah, like reach out and like touch somebody. Like you can touch them.
Would you do?
Yeah.
I'm like, the way my youngest daughter doesn't sleep, I'm practically with her 24/7 anyway.
Yeah. But then I'm like, I started thinking about that and how hyper vigilant I would be when I was by myself. Like how much, but like I need to be by myself sometimes, and that would get me. Yeah,
I would. So my one thing, I would just be afraid that like, what if they don't play by the rules, and like, what if I am close to somebody, but I'm not close
Right.
enough, and that gets sniped, and it's like that's. Yeah, listen, that'd be tough. That'd be
What a
tough.
great idea. And
It is.
great,
It's a great idea. And that's gonna do it for us. Thanks to everybody for listening to another episode here. Tell a friend, tell a dork. Hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Dork Podcast. You can also email us anytime, including your should I have bought this, by the way, to dorkpodcast@gmail.com. Davey, great stuff as always. And promise me a million times over you'll never do another rule.
Yeah, man, I can't promise you that.